Welcome to this episode of Locked In. In this episode, we're going to be finding out, is the Rylo 360 camera as good as it looks? Is it the next best 360 camera? Is it the best 360 camera? In this video, I'm going to be going over specs and features, setup, price, and my final thoughts. So let's get into the specs and features of this camera. I definitely have been in the market for a 360 camera for a little while, and there's nothing that's really sparked my interest. They're either way too much money, or the quality's not that great, or just the interface or user experience is what seems to be subpar. And I reached out to Rylo cameras because their demo video was like next level in my opinion, and as a cycling videographer, photographer, it seemed like a really great tool to basically capture a lot more footage and angles that I would use for editing to make my life easier, so I don't have to do 16 different camera setups on my bike when I go out riding, so I can get more cool shots, different perspectives that I would never be able to get in a regular camera, and basically be able to film more footage for you guys. So this is a 360 camera that shoots in 1080p. It shoots a full 360 degrees and stitches the image together internally. It comes with a everyday case or a skeleton case, meaning it's not fully enclosed, it just wraps around the outside. It actually comes with a 16 gigabyte card, which for any camera nowadays is super rare, as well as a battery, obviously, your charging cable, a protective pouch, and your sync cable. This is a very heavily app-driven camera. I have to put that out there. You need the app on your phone. It works for Android or iPhone to make this thing function and to use it. But that being said, it is probably the best app to control and actually shoot and maneuver footage in-app that I've ever seen. As you can see here, you literally just touch and hold either where you want the camera to look in the app and follow, or an item or person or thing for it to follow and track during the shot that it will not go away from until you tell it not to. You can also just export a full raw 360 video onto your phone through the app, so you can use your post-production software to choose that. But for people who don't have any software like that, this allows you to create really cool cinematic edits without needing a high-powered computer. Now we're going to get into how to actually use the camera. Was it easy? Was it hard? Did I like it? For me, since I'm going to be using this obviously for this channel a lot going forward, I needed something that was very easy to use, and this camera was really simple to set up, and luckily it uses the GoPro standard mount. That means that all my existing GoPro mounts I have for my current action camera will still work for this, so it makes it very easy to use your existing hardware that you already have. And that was a big selling point for me. Next, initial setup is really easy. There's literally just one button to turn the camera on. You hit that button to cycle through the different modes, either a 360 shot, a 180 shot if you're using it on a chest mount, or a picture mode. Then you have your record on and off button. Super simple, no menus really needed because everything's set up in the app. So you set up your photo timer, your video quality, and everything else in the app when you initially plug in the camera. So on the go, it's very easy and easy to see, especially in direct daylight, because it's a dot matrix screen with a big flashing red light that faces you when you're using it, that it's recording. So there's no guessing if it's on or off, or if it's recording or not. Now, when you're done shooting the video, you do need to physically plug this camera into your phone. That is the one thing about the whole user experience that I'm not super happy with, but it is something they can definitely fix in the future. Then you need to edit it or create the clip that you want in the app, or you can export the entire clip raw. After that point, you can then upload it or email it or Dropbox it or airdrop it to your computer that you're going to use if you want to use it for a edit in your standard desktop style software. So for the average consumer, doing it all in phone makes it very convenient. It's all in one place. You do need to have a lot of storage because these videos are very large if you export the raw 360 video. If you do a short edited clip that's around a minute, it's not that big. For me, since I use a iPhone and have a desktop PC, I basically use Dropbox to upload all the videos to and then pull them off on my computer. That process does take a little while because of my Wi-Fi speed. So depending on where I'm at, it is quick or takes a little while. So for me, because I don't have AirDrop, unfortunately, that's my big workaround that I have to deal with personally. But obviously, if you have a Mac or a different user experience, those things might vary. Now on to pricing. This camera currently costs, with all those items that I listed prior, $499, and they do have other accessories, but for the money and the quality and stabilization and everything that this camera offers, I think it's still a really good deal in the space, because the GoPro 360 camera is more money. I think it It definitely has higher resolution and quality, but the ease of use and the lower price point for the average consumer, I think, hits a sweet spot at the $499 price point, in my opinion. Now let's get into my final thoughts. Basically, if you've listened to this whole review at this point, you kind of know where I'm going with this. I think this is a great consumer camera for guys who especially ride mountain or trail or even road, and they basically just want to have one camera to set up and just forget about it. You don't have to remount it to get cool different shots and all that. You can pick and choose what you want to watch, what you want to see, and that's amazing for this style of camera. It definitely helps me do a multi-camera shoot without doing a multi-camera shoot. For me, since I do basically all of my editing for all my videos on my desktop, that's where my workaround is and my only gripe with this. And obviously, I'm hoping that Rylo creates a desktop version of this software, because once they do, this thing is perfect, minus not being 4K, which for me, as again, shooting on desktop and doing for post work, that would make this thing next level, but that's here nor there at this point. Them creating a desktop workaround or plugin, one would allow me to just directly plug this camera into the computer using a standard micro USB, unlike having to have their proprietary micro to lightning cable on me at all times. That is one big headache I didn't really like, but I understand it for the current solution that they have in the in-app software. So once that comes out, I think that's going to really open up this camera for more prosumers or people who are using this for more video edits in a desktop style software. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All the links are in the description below. And thanks for watching this episode of Locked In.
Let's get locked in.